once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll.
Welcome back to my channel, y'all. It is your girl ShorelRenee, the blonde ADHD baddie, and we are back today with another video. Y'all already know, before we get into this video, you know exactly what I'm gonna say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on that notification button so y'all can hear all the tea, you know, all that. Don't piss me off. But so as y'all can see, today's video we have a special guest. I'm excited, y'all. This is my sister Lorel. Hey. And I'm very excited because this video is special to me for a certain reason. Like, I know I'm documenting my ADHD journey, but what most people don't know is she was the biggest part of my journey. So it's good to hear her point of view, where everything came from, how she feels about it, because she was the person that really had to put forth effort and help me and guide me through life, literally from the day I was born. She had to handle everything. So her perspective and how she feels about everything means a lot to me and to everybody else out there, especially for people that's like someone with ADHD, but they have somebody helping them. The person that is helping needs help too. So let's get to it. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself and tell us about herself before I start asking her all the questions that I am going to ask her today.
I'm Lorel, the older sister. We're not that far apart in age, like a year and a half.
Year and a half, that's it.
But yeah, I'm a mommypreneur. I got 3 boys, wonderful husband, and that's about me.
She the shit. The first question. What was your initial reaction when I told you my diagnosis?
So my initial reaction was kind of like, that makes sense. I can't even lie. Like, it was just like, I get it. So yeah, it wasn't like I was surprised or anything like that. It wasn't like I already thought it. It was just, oh wow, you got an answer, you know, about how you feel. So
put the puzzle pieces together.
That was the last one. It was the middle one too.
Like,
you know, you missed that last little puzzle piece. You like, where is it? That was it.
Girl, my whole puzzle was scattered on the floor.
And that's right, because we was putting it together and then we figured it out.
But that's not bad. I expected it. I didn't expect you to be like, oh my god, I can't believe that. Like I was gonna cry or something. That made a lot of sense.
No,
like,
that was the answer. Had she said anything else, I'd be like,
you lying.
Are you sure?
You might want to call it back and check again, because that might not be right. It might not be right. Okay, so next question. Did you ever suspect there were problems with me mentally when we were growing up?
So, as the older sister, you always think something wrong with your siblings anyway. I guess I would say, like, I just thought that you were just very emotional. Like, it would be things that, like, I would shrug at. I'm just like,
girl, like, you know, not that deep.
No, like, I remember when we used to, like, ask to go outside, and she'd be like, can you ask, please? I'm like, I hated asking for stuff, and I'm like, they be like, you gotta be a big girl. Fuck y'all and being a big girl. Like, no, it was just like
asking.
But it was like growing up with her. Like, we shared a room, like, in our younger years, so it was just like I would see the start to finish. It wouldn't be like that'll be my first time seeing her out today and she just crying. I'm just like, girl, what's wrong with you? But it was just like I would see the tears welling up, and I'm just like, I'll ask. Like, it's no problem. It's fine.
I would definitely cry if I had to ask.
Like, yeah, so.
Okay, next question. How did it negatively affect you throughout life?
So I would say negatively, with us being so close in age, it made me feel like I was much older. Like, we wasn't on the same, like, learning path. It was like, not like, you know, she was behind or anything like that, but as far as like the emotional and social skills, it was like I kind of had to head it. Like, a lot of things, if she would forget it, then I would have to remember, and we're not that far apart in age, so I'm like, I'm still forgetting my stuff. Like, how am I supposed to help her? And like, I don't even remember my own backpack.
It puts you in a mom category more than it did like a sister category.
I remember,
it's like you were still the sister, but once it was time to like handle business, you was like, all right, let me put my mom hat back on and let me just, you know, take care of this. And I'm just sitting back like, well, Lorel is ready to handle it. So I'm not worried about the rest of y'all. So I get what you say. So next question, how did it positively affect you throughout life? So on a better note.
Positively, it just made me feel good as a big sister that I was able to be the big sister. You know, most of the time, some sisters, they argue. You see two sisters, you don't even know they're related at all. It made us closer. And I never really needed a best friend because I grew up with my best friend. You know, we total opposites, and that's usually the best friend duo anyway. So it was
we get along
fun.
like extremely well. Like
Yeah.
we're not like regular siblings at all. We got 2 other siblings, and we get along better than all 4 of us.
You would think it was just us.
Yup.
You would.
And I'm fine with that
y'all.
too. Love y'all, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely fine with that. But I'm glad. I feel like I already know the answer to this next question, but I'm still asked.
Alright.
Did you feel obligated to take care of me?
Yes. 110% yes. It was always, well, you know, we Pony and Boo Girl. Pony, did you make sure Boo Girl? Like, no.
I didn't even make sure I did it. So
I don't want to have to do all that. But yes, I definitely felt obligated. And I felt like I would get in more trouble if I didn't help her. So it started to become more natural to help.
And I hated, and I felt so bad at the fact that when I will forget something or I would do something, they wouldn't even yell at me. They would go straight to you and like just bring the hammer down. I'm like, God damn, the girl ain't even do nothing. Y'all could have told me, but they so scared that I'm gonna cry or I'm gonna get upset and all this, but they're not even thinking about the fact that it could possibly hurt your feelings in the same sense.
I think it was the fact that everybody was just so like, what's wrong with Boo Girl? And I'm like I'm wrong with that girl.
The issue was I was not retarded. Like they kept treating it like I was just fucking slow. I hate to say I was never slow.
Yeah.
I was never slow. Me zoning out and stuff like that happens. Like but they saying it like, oh Lord, what's going on with Boo Girl? Like nothing, damn.
It was that, but I also think that it was more so like they didn't know how to process your emotions. And
So
I was
just
just
put it
kind of
on
like
you.
I was just like, I'll do it. Like I don't mind. But it was just they just was so I think like you said, they were afraid of your emotions and they didn't want to hurt your feelings, but they also didn't really like have the patience either
to try to learn at all. So they was like, all right, she getting upset, call Pony.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, it's gotten better.
It has,
It's gotten better.
I haven't been taking no shit from nobody in years. Some years. Like, don't play with me. Find somebody else to play with. Play with your kids.
But not me.
Next question. All right. Do you feel like you have any mental health issues of your own?
So, I think so. Yeah, like I don't want to self-diagnose myself, but I do battle with anxiety and depression. I'm not sure if it's at the height of ADHD, but I'm definitely sure that those two play a part.
Yeah.
And it's tough because depression brings you down, but then the anxiety got you heightened. So I'm just like constantly throughout the day, like it's either I'm like, all right, boys, you know,
I feel like
see how the day is gonna go. And
I
it's
always
like, no,
felt like my situation gave you PTSD. Because you always on edge with trying to fix everything and take care of everybody. Like, oh my God, if I don't do this, this is going to happen. Oh my God, if I don't do this.
So I wouldn't
like,
say it gave me PTSD, but the same way they dealt with your emotions is the same way they dealt with mine. But they made sure that you were able to cry and things like that. But for me, it was just like, you were allowed to feel everything and I wasn't able to feel anything. I'm not gonna say they didn't let me, but there was no room for it.
All I ever heard when it came to you so strong, you so strong, you can handle it, you so strong. And you looking like, bitch, help me.
Yeah, like it was really tough because like, I hate to keep going back to this, but we're not that far apart in age. So it was just like the same things that, you know, would tick you off as a kid, the same things that would tick me off. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, well.
It was like you weren't easy to cry about it like I was. So they made it seem like you just didn't hurt at all.
Yeah,
like
it was like, I almost got kudos for not crying.
And the whole time they didn't even know. I used to be sitting there. I'm like, I feel so bad. You cried a lot, and people didn't know that because you always tried to stay strong because they would complain if everybody was upset. Like I don't know what the issue with emotions in Black families, but they don't like it. No. Next question: what would you change about our journey, good or bad? It doesn't matter if it's good, it's bad, but what is something that you would change
about our journey together?
Yeah, this whole mental health. Well, I would say our journey because my mental health kind of like took a big part in your life.
Yeah,
like a big part.
I feel like it's really hard because it's not like we ended off on bad terms. We're still just as close.
Ain't nothing changed.
I feel like if anything, it prepared me for motherhood. Like I got 3 kids of my own, so it's not like, you know, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this, you know. So it's just, I don't know, like what I would change. Maybe being able to be a kid more.
Yeah.
You know, and not having to like, you know, have so much responsibility so soon.
I think for me, you said being a kid more. I feel like for me, it's not being baby so much because it's like now, you know, in my adulthood, everybody think I'm so mean because I keep telling them I'm a grown ass woman. Y'all can't tell me what to do. Y'all can't talk to me any type of way. I can handle my own business. So when mama always, oh, you're 17. No, I'm not. I'm grown.
Yeah.
I'm grown. That same little girl the same little girl everybody thought I was, I'm not her. So it's like when y'all see me as being mean, it's not me being mean, I'm being assertive because I want respect. I don't want to be liked. I really don't care to be liked because I really don't like people. So I don't give a shit who around, to be honest with you, because I want to be left alone half the time. But I'm big on respect. So you're not going to treat me any type of way because I feel like you don't respect me as a person. Right. So I'm going to have to show you how you going to respect me as a person. And if I got to get loud about it, that's the only time people hear you. And I'm fine with that.
Boom, boom, boom.
Public period. But
I think it was that you went from like the emotion that you showed when you were younger was like more so sadness and like happiness. It was just like like you were very timid and it came off like as a people pleaser. So it was just like you went from that to
a motherfucker who ain't give a
like
shit.
You know, it was a huge jump. So everybody was just like, you know, kind of taken back because they wasn't dealing with your emotions. So it's like they're like, well, who is this?
So last question I have is, what difference have you seen ever since I've started this whole journey with my mental health and really like actually taking hold of it and doing something about it?
I've seen a lot of changes. It's like she sits up a little straighter. She holds her head up higher. I did. But like I'm really proud of her. First, let me start off with that. It's a huge difference. In the beginning, it was kind of tough because we went from me taking over everything to, you know, we had a whole little argument about her saying I give unsolicited advice, but it was just hard because she was making such a drastic change, but I wasn't adjusting to, you know, how she was changing. So I was still heading a lot of things. So just to hear that, I'm just like, girl.
But the thing with us is we communicate a lot. So it wasn't like it was a very hard thing for us to get through because we talk about it. Yeah. That's never been an issue. It didn't last.
Like the whole argument was just like, we were just, you know, kind of, we took some time, like a couple of hours, I would say, to ourselves to just kind of like, but yeah, like we can't stay mad at each other too long because we gotta send videos, we gotta send memes, and who else gonna laugh at it? Like,
Lorel was always the person that, you know, taught me to speak up for myself and say how I feel. And I guess you raised me emotionally because when everybody else tried to beat me down, you taught me how to build myself right back up and not really give a fuck about how everybody else felt and everybody's opinions. And I think I held on it too well because when I say I don't give a fuck about shit, y'all,
it ain't no shaking.
I don't give a fuck about nothing. Like, I don't care. Leave me alone. She's a lot nicer than I am now, but the fuck that I do not give,
I ain't gonna say nicer now. I don't say everything that comes to my mind.
She knows the setting. Me, I don't care what setting it is. I say what the fuck I said, and I'm gonna say it again. I don't care if it's the white people in there, the black people, the mayor. I'm cussing everybody ass out. Seriously, she has more tact and class when walking in a room.
It ain't like you in classless.
I'm not saying I'm classless, but I will get very classless when somebody irritate me. I don't care where I'm at. And then it's just like when it comes to Lorel, don't play with me. Like slightly, if you slightly raise your voice at my sister, you was catching all these hands, I might even headbutt your ass. Like, stop playing with me. You gonna look up and I done shanked you and you don't even know you have that. Like, bleeding out, like, stop playing with me.
That's how it was when we were younger. Like, I would feel like people were bullying you
Mhm.
because you was just like,
I was just quiet about it.
What happened? I'm just like,
I don't know,
first
like,
of
where
all,
the voice came from, but bitch, I am a demon. Like,
yeah, I think that would be a part that like really changed, because when we were younger, like I would get so mad at like how you would just like be so like full of tears, and I'm just like, girl.
and half the time,
No.
I think what my issue was, like, I know I'd be full of tears, but most people didn't even know my reaction to certain things was not how I felt. So like with me having emotional dysfunction, like I could not care and be sitting there completely in tears.
Right.
And I hated the fact that I'm always almost ready to cry, and I'm like, now y'all yelling at me, now y'all bullying me, but then when I whoop y'all ass, y'all confused because like
Right.
I didn't know you could I can fight,
Yeah.
but I can't help that I'm crying, but I'm still
Yeah.
ready to beat your ass in the same sense.
Yeah.
So it was like I didn't want to talk. I'm like, if I talk, I'm gonna cry. So that's why I be telling people I'm not ready to talk to you or argue about shit. I'm gonna just fight me. We can talk about it later.
Yeah,
But right now you gotta fight me because I'm on edge.
even as a kid, it was like you didn't get the free range like this to say what was on your mind. So it was like the only emotion that you could feel was saying it, because you just like, I want to say something to you, but I can't.
So I'm gonna just
Or
fight you.
I don't know how I feel, and you keep asking me, like, so it's just like it just brought tears, because you just like, I don't know.
I legit be crying over shit I do not care about. Like somebody will tell me something, and like it'll be a beautiful story in my head. I'm like, I'm hungry and I really don't give a fuck about what you're talking about, but here I am ready to cry.
Right.
Like my emotions never match how I'm feeling, because when I tell y'all 25% of the time I kind of care, but the rest of the time I do not care. Like I'd rather you just not tell me at all, because I don't care. I want to care. I don't care.
She don't, y'all.
I don't care. Like
I give as little details as possible because she don't care.
a little bit. I'm fine with that because I really don't care. I don't.
Not you.
That, just genuinely, that's all I say. I don't care, and I'm just glad like I can feel exactly how I feel now, and y'all can see it.
Yeah.
Cause no,
Cause no.
I care about how she feel, but anybody else other than like you or Kids, I don't care. And I'm sorry that I feel that way, but I'm not really sorry, because I don't care that I don't care. Like I just don't care.
This is getting really messy.
It's not messy, but it's just like I gotta be honest about the fact that if it's not something that become toilet paper and wipe my ass, no.
I be feeling the same way. It's like sometimes I just like, let me shut my mouth and just let them get it out. But then
they don't
sometimes it's like,
know.
what can we do with
No. Just before you start, no. Okay, so is it anything else that you wanted to speak on pertaining to your story? Because this is kind of your story. It's my journey, but from the point of view of you. So I'm always talking about the point of view where I'm coming from.
Right.
But since you were such a large part of everything I went through, this is your story, not mine.
I feel like I still have like that protective part.
Oh, you know,
like,
I
as a
that.
sister,
Like, I can tell every time.
You know, and like you said, like I kind of like helped you in the emotional aspect, like growing up and stuff like that. So I feel very protective. So it's like even with friends, I'm like, you know, I kind of peek my head in, like, who's that? Oh, okay.
Because
like,
who you talking to?
Because who you talking to? Like, you know, and I try to make
them.
sure that, you know, you don't go back to those places that I saw you in when we were younger, like of being timid, or I mean, I don't see it like, you know, even happening right now, but it's just, it's really tough to kind of like take that out of it, like, and kind of, but it's like, it's not that I don't want you to be an adult, it's just, it's really hard to kind of take my hand off the situation. Sometimes, like,
I still get nervous, like if I do some crazy shit or something I fucked up, I'm like, I don't want to tell Lorel, she will cuss me. Like,
all the time,
and then I'm like,
what?
I gotta tell you something, and like my heart be beating, so I was like, this bitch ready to beat my ass.
It's
like
the conversation be so simple. She's like, I did it. And I'm
but it's like
okay.
I'm so used to like being nervous because Lorel handled everything, so I'm like, I gotta tell her that I fucked
it's
up.
like, okay,
I
so
really
this is the
fucked
thing.
up.
The way that you, like, how you treat everybody else is how I treat you. Where I just be like, girl,
Okay. Like
okay.
you doing a lot.
Like, okay, so what's next? Like, what we
just
doing
my mood
now?
It's just like,
yeah, it's definitely like that. And we both be in that same mood.
don't. Ooh, people get
my
so
God.
mad. They get so mad, but baby, we neither one of us give a fuck. So don't need to start your
It's still
story.
But yeah, like, you know, I feel like as you started to, you know, get older and come more into your emotions and stuff, even before you found out, you know, your diagnosis, I feel like you were doing all the work. Like all the inside work. You started, you know, a journal and things like that. So I was really proud about that. And it was hard not asking, like, what you write about, girl? Like, you know, anything like that. But it was just like, I kind of took a back seat, and I'm very proud of how it turned out without my hands being in it. You and Kenzie are blossoming together. Like, it's really nice to see it, and for you to be able to talk to her about her emotions as well.
Yeah, because I know how it felt for me not being able to express my emotions. So if she feeling something, I'm like, all right, well, why did you feel that way? I don't want to. Or even if you're feeling
something, you can easily tell, like, hey, mommy is feeling such and such, and she's like, oh, okay, well, what's that? And you can explain it. Yeah. As far as between you and mama, it's like, it's definitely different. Like, both of y'all, I think you figuring out your emotions, she kind of sees it in herself as well, where she just like, dang, okay, I used to feel that too. Like, so it's like she don't feel alone.
Yeah, I think we used to clash so hard because we both were kind of going through the same thing and didn't know how to actually be vocal about it. I'm like, all right, I'm going through it, and she like, I'm going through it. Well, I'm mad, but I'm mad too. So don't talk to me because we mad.
It was definitely a lot of
like we just mad. Like both of us are mad.
It was definitely tit for
tat.
tat.
When I say me and my mama are getting along, like it to be in this place with her finally feels so amazing. And I know she can feel it because I can feel it.
Not just y'all, but like for everybody else, it would be like where not like we did two separate events, but it would just be like,
it was very
how y'all okay? Like, can we bring everybody together or not? But yeah, I think with y'all both figuring out like y'all emotions together and separately, I feel like you have definitely motivated her to, kind of tap into what she's feeling and
it's good
express
to wake
it
up
more.
And see her in a better mood every day. Like,
yeah,
it's a
like she looks so confident.
She's just so happy, y'all. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, she's talking more. She's expressing herself more. She want to get out the house. But I want my hair done. I want to get cute. Like, it's more, so like amazing. Like, just it's like a glow that we've been waiting on for so long, and she finally got to do it herself. We didn't have to tell her, well, you need to get up off your feet and be happy with yourself. It's like she's working toward it on her own. Yeah, she sees me, but she's doing it for her.
It's something that she wanted to do anyway. It's something about seeing your kids do it, and you just like, you know what? I raised them, and if they got it in them, I know I got it in me. Yeah,
I kind of like you.
I know I got it in me.
Yeah.
I will say, now that she's tapped into like her emotions and figuring out, what's going on along the way, it's nice to be a part of that journey, because whenever I was going through, it was just like I would figure it out and that was it. But it's like now it's nice to come to functions, or before I even get there, she's texting me like, do you need help? You need me to stop by? You need me to get the boys? All right, no, you go ahead and do this, and I'll sit with them. It's really nice. Like, I will say this without making you feel bad. You are very reliable now.
Yes.
It's like your
I
emotions,
don't feel bad because I knew exactly what you mean.
Your emotions made you unreliable, because it was like you would promise something one day and then the next day you would feel different, and it was just easy for you to just pull out. And I'm just like, dang, girl.
And I couldn't even pull myself out of the hole once I got there. So I can understand. But no, I definitely felt like a burden, because it was like I didn't know what I was going through. So I didn't know how to voice like, this is how I feel, because I didn't know how the fuck I felt. I had no idea how I felt, so I couldn't just be like, well, I'm feeling this. It's just like, why the hell am I sad today? Like, I don't get it.
It was tough because I am a overthinker. So when she would tell me one thing and then like not show up, like my mind was just, I'm like, I know she's big on emotions. Like, what's going on? Is she crying? How is she feeling? Like, has it advanced to something more negative? Like, like, I don't want you, like, what they be saying on TikTok? I don't want you to unalive yourself. And I don't even see the signs. I don't know why people say that.
Stop saying unalive.
I don't like that.
They just
but no, I don't like that, because it will always make me so anxious and scared. Like, what's going on? Like, is it something? Did I ask her, like, the wrong thing? Like,
and then we legit be nothing. No, my mood just changed. Like, I went to sleep happy and I woke up depressed. Like, and I could not tell you how it changed, why I'm feeling that way. Like, most of the time I was sad about absolutely nothing. Right. Just nothing. I could never give you a reason why I was sad. I couldn't give you a reason why I was happy. Like, some days I'm like, oh my God, I got all this energy. Let me do a lot. Like, for what? I don't know. I can't tell you.
I wasn't looking for an explanation of why you were feeling the way you were feeling. Like, even if you just call me like, girl, no. And I'd be like, all right, well, then it's no. Like,
no, but still, that just kind of sounds fucked up. Like, you asked me to watch your kids, but no.
But the thing is, you know how we are. I understand. Like,
But
we were playing so many
think-
things, and we just like...
I think because I didn't understand, I couldn't cope with the fact that you understood why I just couldn't get it together.
I still got like the tendency to text you like 30 minutes before an event and be like, we still doing this?
And I'm like, hell no.
And I'm like, did we not? And that's
Hell
it. And
no.
that's all I wanted. Like, you know, not the high.
So that is all today, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video because this video is the most important one to me. It might not be to everybody else, but because of everything I went through, it means the absolute most to me. And I know it means the most to you.
Yes.
So like, because we'd have been through some shit together. So that is all for today. We are finished with this video.
Done.
And this is your girl, the blonde bald head Betty, and
Lolo from the 804.
and we out.
Add it up, bankroll.